goes. I don't want to lose him in the... Oh yes, look at that. That's a proper perch. It is a proper perch. It's one of those big old perch. Putting up a good old scrap. This is on a piece of prawn. Yep, it's a perch. Welcome to another Fishing Tale Films. Another perch fishing day for me. I've come back down to Tricklebrook, but this time I'm fishing the old lake. Never fished this lake before. In fact, my last visit was my first visit to Tricklebrook, and I've just looked at this first swim and it looks very, very perchy. Let's have a look at the margins, because that's where I'm going to be concentrating on today. Well, known for its big carp, the old lake, the Old Specimen Lake at Tricklebrook, is also known for its very big perch as well. And look at that margin down there. That looks fantastic. And then the other side, sort of trees, bushes overhanging, just screams perch. So it's pretty obvious my line of attack's going to be down the left hand margin and the right hand margin. Much bigger lake than the little lake I fished the other week. This is 4 acres. And it's got some quality fish in it, and I'm really looking forward to having my first session on the Old SPECI Lake for the perch at Tricklebrook. Let's go and get the gear out. Now this is quite a tight little swim, but the most important thing is the margins, because that's where I think the perch are going to be sitting up. I've plumbed the depth, quite surprised it's a little bit deeper than I thought. I think this is the deeper end of the lake, shallow. The further you walk down from the car park it shallows up, so I'm in the corner and it's quite deep. Got about, probably from the hook keeper on the rod, about three rod rings up to the tip of the float, so it's a nice depth, something I can work to. As you've probably seen me chop up my mix, I've primed both the margin swims on the left and the right. I'm going to start off with my blobber float on the left and my perch bobber on the right, just putting a worm tip with a red maggot on the left hand side, and then I'm going to fish prawn on the right. My usual plan of attack, and then we take it from there. Fingers are crossed. And of course, it's good to be back out perch fishing again. It's what, sort of coming up to mid-October now, so it is starting to cool all the time. Overcast. It's been overcast for about three days now, and hopefully it'll stay that way today, because that'll be perfect. Well, I didn't have to wait long for my first perch, the target species. Slid away on the worm, as you can see, and another case of his eyes being too big for his belly. But it's a perch, it's a start, and hopefully they're going to get bigger. At least the perch are about. And as you can see, I've got prawn on my right hand rod and it slid away, and I'm hoping I've got a perch hanging on the end here. Not a good start. It is a perch. It's not massive, it's a lot bigger than that first one on the worm. And there it comes, it's in the top bit. That's a perch now on each rod. Obviously that one's a bit bigger. Took a liking to that prawn. Hopefully today is going to be a real perch-tastic day. We shall see. Lovely looking fish. What a start. Perch on the worm. Perch on the prawn. And it certainly appears that there's plenty of perch about in both corners. I'm having bites every cast. Every cast. I think obviously they're small, but the important thing is I'm getting bites. There's another one there on the prawn that's gone under. Oh, that felt decent. That did feel decent, that. Oh dear. As I lifted into that, I felt the rod bend over and then pull straight out. Damn. It was a lovely slow bite. I don't know if you picked that up on the camera there. Very interesting bite that was. That just sailed away slowly. It's busy already. I think if this continues, I'm going to be fishing just the one rod, because my head's bobbing left and right all the time, trying to not miss a bite. Well, this has been a bit of a crazy start, I must admit. This brings me back to the days that I chat about on my Reeling Back the Years fishing series, where I used to turn up to a place in my youth called Wanstead Park and almost instantaneously catch perch, one after the other, up to around the pound mark. Nothing huge. A 12-ounce fish was probably a big fish. And I've had, like say, I've had a bite every put out on lobs and prawns. and that's on its way already. This is just craziness, it really is. I'm going to have to fish with one rod, I think, until it calms down a bit. That's if it calms down. This is exciting stuff, because apparently the perch go to over 5 pounds in here. There is 4s and obviously a lot of 3s and 2s. So this could be quite an exciting session. Well, I've just stuck a prawn on my left hand rod and it's buried, and looks like I've got a better fish on here. I have, it's a perch. Nice fish. Have to net this one. Vicious bite. I would say they're in a right old feeding mood. Nice. Well, that's a bit more like it. I just switched my rod over to a prawn on the left hand rod. Just sailed right under. And this one probably just over. It was very lively. Just over the pound mark. Let's pop him back because my other rod's just gone. Oh, I've got another perch on, not as big as that one I've just had there. Blimey, this is manic. Well, that's 5 perch already. I think I've only been here about 15 minutes. Well, this has been a bit of a crazy start, I must admit. This brings me back to the days that I chat about on my Reeling Back the Years fishing series, where I used to turn up to a place in my youth called Wanstead Park and almost instantaneously catch perch, one after the other, up to around the pound mark. Nothing huge. A 12-ounce fish was probably a big fish. And I've had, like say, 5. I've had a bite every put out on lobs and prawns, and that's on its way already. This is just craziness, it really is. I'm going to have to fish with one rod, I think, until it calms down a bit. That's if it calms down. This is exciting stuff, because apparently the perch go to over 5 pounds in here. There is 4s and obviously a lot of 3s and 2s. So this could be quite an exciting session. I was just about to say, after that initial 25 minutes of just a bite of chuck and all them perch, it then went quiet. I just had a missed bite there, just sailed along. I put another bit of, went back onto worm, still on prawn on that rod. That's my first bite for a little while. So maybe, could be that there's bigger perch have moved in, pushed out the smaller stuff. I'd like to think so. I'm actually starting to use bigger pieces of worm now. I'm getting a nervous twitch here. Okay, looking around all over the place. There's so much been going on. Right, let's back into position. It's just gone. Come off, that was a small one. And that's gone straight away and all. Well, this is just incredible. This is madness. Another lovely looking perch, nice and plump. They're in great condition, these perch, they really are. Fantastic looking fish. I can't wait to catch one of these big ones, I really can't. There must be some about. It was on a big chunk of lobworm. We've just had a change of species on the bit of worm. Lovely looking rudd. He's certainly a brave fella, being down there with all them perch swimming about. He's obviously hungry as well. Well, even like just fishing with the one rod, it's still making me very busy. Probably had about 20 perch now. It's amazing. I've been fishing probably for about an hour, if that. And whether it's prawn or lobworms, they're straight on it. Just put another prawn on here on my left hand rod. Just fishing the left hand margin at the moment, so I'm resting the right hand. And then I'm going to probably in half-hour spells, just using the one rod, just switch left side to right, keep feeding but resting them. And I'm going to probably start fishing even closer to the margins, because I'm sure the bigger perch are going to be sitting sort of almost tucked underneath the undergrowth. Well, I've had a few perch this size now. They do scrap a bit. There's the prawn hook bait that he just devoured. Lovely fish. Still waiting for that bigger one though. I'm sure they're there. Feels a much better fish. Well, this is really hanging on. Let's hope it's one of those big old perch. It's putting up a good old scrap. This is on a piece of prawn. Yep, it's a perch. Well, it's a nice chunk. Lovely. Well, this is the biggest perch of the day so far, of this morning session. Lovely looking fish, really long fish. He's going to be an absolute monster when he grows up. I might just weigh him quickly, see what he goes, take a quick snap and then return him. That was on a prawn. A lovely fish. I thought I bumped a good one a little bit earlier. Whether it was the same fish or one of his mates, I don't know, but what a cracker. Well, after catching that nice perch, which was just under the £2, didn't quite make the two, probably needs to eat a few more prawns and lobworms, but I'm sure this time next year he'll be a big 2 pushing on a 3. Very young fish, nice looking fish he was. So it's gone a little bit quiet down to the left. I'm still getting the odd little dink, and I've seen a few small fish being chased about. So there's still perch down there, but all the time while I've been resting this right hand swim, I've been flicking out a bit of maggot. I've just put another one of my perchy worm mush mix down the side as well, cut that out. So I'm going to put a prawn on, and I'm going to go and fish down the right hand side underneath me perch bobber. quiet down there. That's probably allowed another rudd, I've caught. Beautiful fish though. Look at the golden colours on them. Fantastic. Red, bright red fins. Big piece of lobworm. They like a worm as well. But yeah, it's gone a bit quiet down there. I suppose the rudd have moved in and had a little feed up. This on the prawn, slightly better stamp than the tiny ones I was just been catching on the lobworm. Lovely looking perch, they really are. I had a few of these today, around about that size. Really plump fish. No wonder there's monsters in here. Fantastic. Another perch on the prawn. Well, every time I put a lobworm on, no matter how big it is, it's getting attacked by smaller perch in the 4 to 8 ounce bracket. So I've now gone on back on the prawn just to try and slow the bites up a bit. It sounds a bit crazy to say that, but in the hope that the smaller fish will leave the prawn alone and give the bigger perch a chance to get on the bait, because the best perch I've had so far did come on a prawn. So that's what I think I'm going to have to do for the moment. It may mean waiting for the bites, but I think I'd probably prefer that. And like I say, it's my first time fishing on the old lake, the Old Specimen Lake. It's only my second time at Tricklebrook. You may have seen the other video that I did about 3-4 weeks ago, where I fished the little lake. Well, again, I had all sorts. I was getting carp and skimmers and rudd and small perch. But this is mainly today. It's been all about catching, hooking and getting bites from the small perch. There must be a big head of perch in here, there really must be, which is great. So already I'm thinking, when it starts getting really cold, then I'm pretty sure the small perch will come off the feed, and it'll probably give the bigger perch a more of a chance to find the baits. So already I'm excited about what can be coming up from, say, November, December, January, February, possibly early March. There's going to be some interesting sessions on here, and this is like a bit of a recce trip for me, really. Like I say, only my second trip at Tricklebrook. Try and saying that when you've had a few. And I'm really impressed, and I can see the potential. I can see why there's big perch in here, and I'm pretty sure over the winter I'm going to meet some of them. I think we've got another good perch on here, on the prawn. Really delicate bite. Having a go. Feels heavier than the other one I had, but they are deceiving. He's trying to get in to my left. Certainly scrappy, that's for sure. I don't want to lose him in the... Oh yes, look at that. That's proper perch. That is a proper perch. What a beast, what a beast. Yes. Wow. That's a good fish. He's a big old toe, that's for sure. Hooked him right in the scissors. What can I say? Prawn has done the business again. Almost in the same spot as I had that other fish, so he's a much bigger fish. And he's over the 2 pounds mark. Wow, and again another young looking fish. 2 pounds 7 ounces, and well, just imagine what a 4 pounder must look like when they're in here. So fantastic. Really looking forward to this winter and some more sessions, especially when it really starts to get cold. Lovely. Quick photo and pop him back. Brilliant. That's what it's all about. Specimen perch. What a cracking fish. What a morning I've had here at Tricklebrook. It's quite noticeable that after every time I've hooked into a decent perch, because obviously they sort of thrash about the swim a bit more, it kind of kills the action for quite some time. So I'm back in another bit of a lull, so I don't mind, because it means that it's because I've caught a nice perch, and it sort of went back in trying to get under where I hooked it, so it obviously disturbed the swim a bit. I'm going to move back onto the right hand margin side, because hopefully a few perch might have moved into that area as well, so it's good. And if you want to know roughly what tactics I'm fishing, it's almost identical to when I was down on the little lake, which is just down there. So if you want to look at that video, perch fishing at Tricklebrook, which I uploaded early October time, that will go for all like the baits, all the setup and everything that I'm fishing, virtually identical today. The only difference with today is because I've got more perch in my swim, I'm feeding a lot more aggressively, so I'm cupping out more, I'm feeding loose maggots over the top a lot more than last time, because I've got a big head of perch in my swim, and they're feeding quite manically, to be honest, especially the smaller stamps. So I'm having to feed more aggressively to try and feed them off, so that hopefully, well, I've had a couple of nice perch, I must admit, especially the 2.7, it's a real cracker, and you never know, there could be bigger ones down there. They're in here, like I said, they go up to 5 pounds, there's rumours of, they've had them to 5 in the past. There's certainly 3s and 4s in here, and I'll be happy with them. I'm not being greedy. I've had a terrific session already, even if it ends now. I've had a brilliant session. So the question is, on my first visit to this lake to fish it for the first time, what lessons have I learned? Well, the first one is more confirmation that there is a big head of perch in here. I've proved that. I've had somewhere between probably 40 to 50 perch. Okay, most of them have been small, you know, like sort of anything from 3 ounces up to around the pound mark, and then I had one just under 2, and then that cracker at 2.7. So I've learnt that there is a big head of perch in here. Second sort of thing that I've learned, although I've been using large prawns, probably need to be using jumbo prawns, because if there's that amount of small perch in here, then they are obviously getting that in their mouths along with the lobworms. So I think the next time I come down and fish Tricklebrook, I will be bringing jumbo sized prawns. Probably might even try some raw prawns as well. I've never fished with raw prawns. I know some perch anglers have done well on them, but I tend to normally use what you get in the supermarkets, the cooked variety, cooked prawns, cocktail ones for chopping up, and then the larger ones to stick on the hook. So I've learned that maybe I should be fishing with much bigger prawns. Lobworms, it's weird because one minute they all wanted lobworms, and then it was prawns, and then it was lobworms again, and then back on prawns. My biggest perch have come on the prawns, so there's no surprise there. I must admit, the prawn does sort out the much bigger stamped fish. And probably the other lesson that I've learned today is that definitely, like I've found when I fished other venues, the colder the better for the bigger perch. And when it gets colder, obviously the smaller perch won't be as active as they have been today, although the temperatures are dropping, I must admit, and the overcast conditions are perfect, hence the reason why I've had a lot of perch. But definitely when the water temperature is round about, I reckon down to about 6.5 degrees, because I found that's a very good temperature for the perch, and I'm pretty sure that I shall be able to find some of these even bigger stamp perch that swim around 3s and 4s. I do feel confident, and this is another lesson I've learned, that my next PB is possibly going to come out of this water. I'm very confident that I will find some of those big old perch, and I just can't wait. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. So the next few weeks over the Christmas period into the new year, when it should be cold, I know we have been getting slightly milder winters the last 3 or 4 years, but if we can get some cold snaps, some proper cold snaps, a bit of frost on the ground, then I'm pretty sure there's a PB waiting for me out of this water. Definite. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little perch session. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.